right, let us welcome in the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, Magomed Ankalaev. He defends his title this Saturday against the man he defeated to win that belt, Alex Pereira, in a rematch in the main event of UFC 320. Champ, how are you, sir?
Как дела, чемпион?
It's good to have you here. We spoke prior to your first fight with Alex. You said you would become champ, and you did just that. I'm curious, how has life changed for you since accomplishing this goal of winning the UFC title?
Uh, It feels great to be a champion. A lot of things have changed, and it's a great place to be. A lot of people see you, a lot of people hear you, and give you more opportunities. And this is something that once you reach this height, you do not want to let it go. Nothing you want to change here.
After the fight, there was a lot of talk about maybe Alex moving up to heavyweight. Maybe he'd fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, but you wanted this rematch. You called for it. Was this rematch expected for you, or were you surprised that the UFC came back with Alex again?
Ну, у нас и другого.
We didn't really have another option because a lot of the people that were up top in the division, a lot of the people that were the next contenders, number one, two, three, four, they were either busy, somebody had injuries, somebody had exams. So nobody replied to us, and so we got Alex.
So there's obviously a lot more heat on this fight than the first one. Things appear to be a bit more personal. There was this run in at the UFC PI, and Alex has his side, and he claims what he says is you were hiding from him, and that's 100% what happened. So you're here right now. I might as well just ask you, what happened between you and Alex Pereira at the UFC PI from your perspective?
Ну, когда я услышал,
When I heard that that's what he said, I was perplexed. I was confused. Why would he even say that? If you look at the last fight, I bullied him in the fight. I pressured him. He was running away from me the entire fight. I won the fight. I became the champion. So why would I be hiding from him? So when I saw that, when I saw the statement that that's what he said, that I hid from him, I just wanted to understand from his mouth what is it? Why is it that he said that? So I found out what times he's there, like what time he usually comes to the PI. I went and I had a procedure done, and then I walked out, and there he was with his team. And I asked him, I said, "You were looking for me. You said I was hiding. Well, here I am. You found me. So why were you saying that?" And then he couldn't really explain himself. Then he started doing all sorts of, like, I don't know, the lady said, the girl said, somebody said. And I didn't even care to listen to any of that explanation because there I was confronting him right in front of his face, and he had no answer for why he told everybody that I was hiding from him.
Alex said on Monday that this whole situation proves that you are not the one on social media crafting your tweets, that you're not actually saying what is being said on the Big Ank Twitter account. What is your response to that?
каким словом не было ответа, просто не понял.
Which words don't which words don't match? What is it that he's referring to that doesn't match?
I'm not really sure. He's maybe just the response to what happened at the PI, but apparently that's your story on what happened is why he believes you're not the one tweeting.
Я не знаю, что он имеет в
I don't know what
виду.
he's referring to because I'm constantly in communication with my manager, Ali. We always talk about things. If somebody's throwing a challenge out or if somebody says something in my direction, we discuss it, we hash it out, and we figure out what we have to write. And then he puts it into a tweet. Never has he ever written anything without my consent. We're constantly in communication. So there's not one tweet, not one writing that came out that I wasn't aware of that was done behind my back. We always do stuff together.
Through all of this, Alex said he has no issue with you, that he tries to avoid conflict with his opponents, even tries to become friendly with them, even trains with them after. So he essentially says this fight is not personal. So I ask you, Magomed, is this fight personal for you?
Yeah, it's personal to me because this is my belt. I'm the champion. I'm being hunted. I have to defend my belt. So it is personal to me. And also, because of the stuff that he said, things that didn't happen, that I hid from him and all that stuff, that hurt me and I didn't like that. And so it makes me want to hurt him more for saying stuff that isn't true.
One other thing Alex has said that has made the rounds is in the first fight, he was only 40% in that matchup at UFC 313. You were in there with him. Do you feel like you fought a guy that was only 40% of himself, or do you think he was making an excuse that for his performance that night?
I don't
No,
know. I don't know why, how prepared he was. You know, I don't know why he's coming up with these excuses or whatever he's coming up with. Whatever. We gave him another chance. He has another chance. Let's see 100%. Let's see what he can do when he's 100%. And then we'll do a fight and we'll show him that this time he's going to say that he was only ready for 30%.
Couple last things with how this build has gone, and you said this is personal for you for not just being champion, but the things that he has said. Is a win enough here, or do you have to get a finish here, get a knockout in this fight to put this rivalry to rest?
Я думаю, этот бой
I
именно
think
будет.
it's going to be a whole different fight. It's going to be a very ruthless fight. I think both sides are going to be hunting for a knockout in order to make sure to close this chapter and end this chapter of the book.
Last thing I wanted to ask you about is you said that the reason that you're fighting Alex is no one was really available right now. There weren't any other options. Right now, there's a few options potentially in front of you. Carlos Ulberg got a big win on Saturday. He's going to be in Las Vegas. He hopes to get the winner of this fight. We got Yuri Prochazka and Khalil Roundtree fighting on Saturday. How do you look at the top of this division right now with Ulberg, with Yuri, with Khalil getting ready to fight? I know you're focused on Alex, but are you excited for what the future presents, knowing you have these names available to you to potentially defend your title against next?
You know,
Ну,
the guys that are fighting on the same card as I am, Roundtree and Prochazka, I'm not really interested in them anymore. They're yesterday's news. They've been punished already by the former champ. You know, the guy that I'm fighting now, the guy that I beat. So I'm not specifically interested in the let's say the older guys, the older generation. But this new guy, you know, the Ulberg guy you're talking about. I mean, he's interesting. He's going on an interesting streak. You know, he's been unbeaten for a little while. And I think, you know, if the UFC wants to stop him, what they'll do is they'll give him a fight against me, so he finally will taste defeat. Other ways, you know, if they want to make a start out of him, if they want to keep on pushing him forward, keep on making him, you know, a big deal in the UFC, they can. But eventually, he's going to have to face me, and that's going to be most likely a stop to that big rise. But I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not picking my opponents. You know, whatever UFC decides, that's what we're going to do. We'll see what happens.
Well, we're looking forward to Saturday, Magomed. Thank you very much for the time. Getting ready for this rematch against Alex Pereira in the main event of UFC 320. Magomed, all the best to you in the fight on Saturday. I really appreciate it.
Всего самого хорошего в субботу.
то
Удачи и спасибо за время.
спасибо.